cussing out players. Players don't even know. You're talking, put that tight end in the game. Put the tight end in the game. Well, that is not going to happen. Not for that amount of money. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. It's Coach B with 15 good minutes. I'm here with the A team with Freddie and JR. Freddie, how we doing today, man?
Oh man, I'm running on fumes, but I'm good.
Just getting back from Houston. He's got something big coming up. We'll tell you all about that. JR, how we feeling, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm feeling good. I got a lot of energy now. I'm
Excellent. For our audience, we just giving Freddie the business because we found out how much his entry fee is into this one particular fantasy football league that he's in. I'll just say it's significant, and me and JR are sitting up here talking about the things we could do with that kind of money. But to be fair, if we had a stake in the winnings that Freddie had last year and he's the ranking champion in that league, we would be doing big things with that money, So I get it. You got to pay to play. So I'll say all that to say that in that particular fantasy football league, tonight is the draft for Freddie. So, typically, you see him like now he's pounding down some H2O. That is not his normal drink of choice when we're recording, but he got to be laser focused. He got to be on point. He's going to be bidding on some contracts, trying to get some top-notch players, and he can't afford to have his senses dulled. Now, what after the draft, Freddie, you gonna indulge then at that point?
Oh no, I'm gonna drink during the draft. I'm just this is just to chase everything that's gonna come out.
This the Kevin Garnett commercial where it's like, pace yourself.
Yeah,
drink water.
Yeah, I gotta get some H2O down. So I was drinking last year during the I won. So I mean, no need of breaking.
I mess with something that works. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I got a few things I'm going to run across you guys this week. Should be a pretty quick hitter. Just some stuff that's in the news. First and foremost, welcome to the last weekend of August. I don't know where the summer went, JR, but it was fast, man, for me.
Oh, for me in the hospital almost 3 months, 4 months. That's the summer.
I'm glad it's gone.
I know you are, but why are you guys gone?
It's hot.
we talked about tuning up the bikes. I tuned up the bike for 200 plus. Didn't ride it one time yet.
We did talk about that. But I personally I can't ride GR when it's really hot. And today here it was 92. So D's are better. She's better at it. But then again, she points out in some cases I might sleep a little too long. She's like, you want to ride, you got to get up. Okay, I'm with you. I get that. But she's more dedicated to riding than I am. I'm a fair weather rider, meaning I like it to be 78, maybe 82. I look up, I see 92 degrees. I'm like, not riding today. Ain't no thing, no big deal. But I do admire her stick-to-itness, but I don't have that ability to wake up at the time she do, especially on a weekend. So August is about gone. With that, some things are shifting. We're going to get into some of those. I'm going to start off with some news from college football. Freddie, Nick Saban just got an extension of $94 million. That's going to carry him, I think, to 2030. He'll be 71 years old in October. Your thoughts on the coach's extension?
Well, I think he's deserving of it, but he also has a clause in every contract that he signs that he will always be the highest paid coach in college football. All right. So if say, Drew Smokatelli next year, get a deal, Saban's automatically gonna get a bump. So, but he's the most accomplished of all the coaches. He's deserving of it, and I mean, I can't knock it. I mean, get it if you can get it.
I think it is what it is. I could say some people stay around too long and don't let the youngins come up to, get that. But schools do what schools do. He's been a championship coach for quite a while. You know what I'm saying? Not every year, but you could say that he's got enough under his belt that he can command that kind of money if they're going to give it to him, even if the boosters are going to give it to him.
Like him or not, I think he's the best coach in college football. I kind of liken him to Bill Belichick, and I'm not sure why, but I look at the two of them kind of similarly.
They coach together. That's why.
Correct. And to Freddie's point, I was aware of the clause in the contract, but they didn't have to extend him all the way to 2030 to get that, but I think he's going to be 11.5 mil a year, which is pretty significant. And again, like Freddie says, it is a public school. He's definitely the highest paid coach from a public school or university. I think anytime you're as relevant as him, though, JR, you know what I mean? Like, to your point, if he's not, like right now, I think they already picked, first place. But if he's not there, he's always preseason top 3 or 4. When we get to the point where we're doing the NCAA football playoffs, there's going to be a discussion. A few years ago, it was a little political. I thought Alabama should have been out, and they worked their way to get their way in there because, that's kind of how the playoffs roll. So I'm not mad at him either. That's a hell of an extension, though. I mean, basically, $93.5, $94 million extension, not a salary, an extension to an already high salary. So, congrats to the coach. The NFL does a lot of these joint practices during preseason, and today there was a big ass fight between the Rams and the Bengals that shut down the entire thing. I want to get your thoughts on preseason, but more importantly, do you see value when they take two teams, you know what I mean? And they just, I think if I understand it correctly, and Freddie can keep me honest, but I think they practice together and they scrimmage against one another for a period of time. I don't know, I'll say a week or whatever. In this particular case, the whole thing got shut down today because of the fight. They called it a melee, actually. So for you, JR, what do you think about that? Is there value in having it? Is it just guys getting all hot and bothered and worked up to go hit somebody? What is it?
I don't think the length of games to me has value, because anyway, today many people could have gotten hurt and not see opening day because of the fight. So I mean, if I'm going to fight with an opposing team, I might as well fight with the guys that came on extra. Let them be the B team and just play if that's what it's going to be. Because when you get two teams that really don't know each other like that, there's more of a chance that there's going to be a fight. You hit me too hard, or we practicing, or whatever. There's always going to be that.
I get it, Freddie. You're a football guy. Is this really a nothing deal, or something that is starting to be more prevalent?
This particular one, I think it's actually bigger. You know why? Because it was the Rams and the Bengals. Who played in the Super Bowl? The Rams and the Bengals.
Does that mean, though, Freddie, that did the league screw up by making those two get together?
I'm not sure. I personally don't like it because you have so many people fighting to hang on, fighting to make a spot, and then you have Aaron Donald out there today swinging around 2 helmets. Take your starters out and let them rest and watch from the sideline. You don't need to have starters, Aaron Donald, and your number 1 defensive versus their number 1 offense. Let the guys be out there that are on the bubble.
Especially on the Cincinnati side of the coin, there's some animosity.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm on Cincinnati, the last person I want to see this early in the season is the team that ended my season last year. That's just extremely poor planning. And if I'm not running from any challenge, but if I'm the coach of Cincinnati, I'm not signing up for that. The league would have to tell me to do it for the PR element. I'm just not a fan of NFL preseason anyway. The ones don't play usually. When they do scrimmages, JR, they're not showing you nothing. They just running some vanilla sets to get cats in there. Nobody's going to show you nothing this early in the process, rightfully so. And then lastly, you just don't want your studs to get hurt. Not in an Aaron Donald kind of way, like he could have clocked somebody. I mean, just regular play, regular scrimmage, whether we're doing contact drills on our own team or playing against somebody else. I think it's quite the dilemma, though, because you have to get those guys ready. The other big turn that's happening right now, and I'm gonna pivot over to UJR, is this is the last run for teams trying to get into the Major League Baseball playoffs, right? For your wild cards and things like that. Is Bryce Harper was doing really, really well for the Phillies in AAA ball. He's been crushing it. He's coming back this weekend. My question for you, though, JR, is anybody playing better than the Dodgers right now? Have you seen them, and are they loaded or what?
They have been playing well even before the All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? So, and they beat good teams as opposed to our guys. And that's what you were talking about.
Yeah. And
they do it consistently.
I watched the game, JR. I watched the game Wednesday night. In the 4th inning, Mookie Betts was batting for the 4th time in that game. You understand what I'm saying, Freddie? In the fourth inning, he was up for the fourth time.
That's bad.
I think they already had
timely hitting
the fourth, and they were playing a really good Milwaukee team. And now they got cats coming back off the injured reserve, and I can't find a weak spot in that organization.
I gotta say, you know, consistency really makes a good team. I don't care. Consistent hitting, consistent pitching, you know, and their pitchers have been doing well.
This week, the number one pick in the NBA draft got hurt playing in a pickup. I call it a pickup game, you know, pro-am, whatever the hell you want to call it. Now, today it's announced he is out for the entire year. He has lost this entire season. One, did you watch the game with Chet Holmgren? I think it was Jamal Crawford's thing, right, Fred? I think Jamal Crawford does some type of pro-am.
Crossover.
The crossover something. And Chet, I saw the play several times. He was basically just kind of loosely guarding LeBron and cut across. His foot did something weird. He's out the whole year, JR. What are your thoughts on that?
A crazy type of injury, from what I understand. What is it called? A list something?
Yeah, it's got a weird name to it.
It's when the bones are crossed in the midway of your foot. It's the second one, and they just two of them, I think, just went out. It's just a weird thing. That's when we're talking about freak accidents in practice and people get hurt. But the thing is, you could have a freak accident in first game. You know what I'm saying? So you got to practice.
This wasn't practice though. This was that. Yeah, it's a program. And here's the other thing, Freddie. I learned today that apparently the game itself got shut down.
Yeah, because of condensation on the floor.
So it's not even a safe place to play. If you tell me it's condensation on the floor, now I don't know. I'm a GM. I got the number one pick in the league. I'm putting in some rules, man.
That's too much money in the NBA, bro.
I'm going to start off with you in terms of our question of the week. Should pros or high value players in any sport, should they play pickup in the offseason?
No, I'm not good with it.
Okay,
I'm not.
Yeah. Is it NBA pickup games or just off?
As an example, and I'm based it on pros, but the best player on UConn women's basketball team just returned this year, Paige Beckers, and now she's out for the next year because she tore her ACL playing pickup. So although she's not a pro yet, she's their best player, and when she's on top of her game, JR, probably top 2 or 3 in all of women's college basketball. So that's why I say pros and high value players. If you're Gino Auriemma in that case, or if you're OKC in the case of Chet, do you want your guys? I'm not talking preseason practice. I'm saying pickup.
Yeah, well, if pickup is on the street, I'm not with that.
You know what's weird though? When I was researching the story, it was amazing how many guys like Kobe, Kevin Durant would play up at Rutgers and stuff during the summer. You know, they're getting it in. I want a clause in there. You know, I want a clause for all types of activity. Clauses that would have stopped the accident that
Jay Williams.
Yes, that Jay Williams had on the motorcycle, or other things. Tatis Jr., you know, with his thing. All of these things that happen away from the game, I would put a halt to them because you are a valuable asset to your organization, no matter what the sport is, even at the collegiate level. Let us know, you know, on Twitter at the handle 15 Good Minutes, or right here on YouTube.com/15 Good Minutes. Do you think high value players should participate in non-sanctioned events for their respective sports? That's all we got time for this week. Like we said, we're going to wish the best of luck to our GM of the week. I wish him luck right now, but when I'm in the draft in his league, I wish him no luck at all. It's going to be 100% with you cats. I'm not in this league that he's in, this high dollar joint. So I'm here to support my guy. I want him to get his best team. JR, anything before we go, man?
Nah, man, just good to be back and see you guys.
Freddie.
14 minutes before it starts. Gotta go.
That's it. It's time for Freddie to go out there and go do his thing.
You got to get the Brown stuff.
Everybody enjoyed it the last weekend in August. We'll see you when we get into September. We're out.